up to a best of 7 on.
So for all the kind-hearted people in the chat, I'm sorry if I sound a little bit more French than usual. I'm pretty tired. I don't have the mana left to keep up the NA, my NA disguise. Huh?
The
This is
disguise.
my true self is being revealed to the world.
Finally showing his true colors, the white flag. Anyway, moving on. We are going to
Oh,
see both
hold
of
on
our
now.
players here. And the Irish never gave up. Okay, all right. We do see the Great Rat coming out there.
It's actually my true colors is actually the Swift slash icon back then. Don't get it wrong.
We are,
Me, I guess.
we are going to see some crazy damage here coming out here on the side of Foolish, who's putting Lane Saw through a... It's like this is like fighting a Saw from Bloodborne. Absolutely bonkers and Foolish. The trade's going back and forth.
Oh
Foolish
my God,
is his
a
tear
high-powered
gone.
battle.
And the Blink Bolt comes out the other end, but he just about manages to come out the other end. The Stone Club clubbing later by the looks of things is the side
that's
of
interesting.
Lane.
The off Rakshasa for a hyper armor setup for the main hand circ.
And actually able to keep
And
insane
that
amounts of
R2,
pressure.
yeah, the roll timing seems very awkward. Like you definitely get used to it, but it's just very jarring.
And as
The
well as
first time you
that,
fight it.
oh, for sure, it definitely took me a minute to try and figure it out. And the Blink Bolt punish comes out. Blink and you'll miss it, folks. The TTK in shambles right now. Holy moly! GG's. Very nicely done to Fooish. Another streamer who you should definitely go check out. Spread the love, ladies and gentlemen.
A streamer? Okay, let's go check it out. I don't think I've ever heard of them actually.
Yeah, I believe he's done some Dark Souls 2 stuff. He'd done some Dark Souls 3. I believe it was the Dark Souls 3 days that I had the pleasure of bumping into Foolish. He's been around a while. Bit of a demon of the olden times. But here we have both of our players in Foolish with the Foolish ambition will be laid to rest. Or will Foolish actually take it? I didn't know where I was going with that one. I thought this one out, guys. Don't worry. But either way, the Bolt is on its way in the semis in this best of 7. First 2-4, Le Physics Le Drinky, and the Sleep Grease.
That eternal sleep grease is insane.
Why going
Oh,
for...
I see. That's smart. Is to take advantage of the helmet. Is to take advantage of the focus of the helmet here. The lowered focus here, giving eternal sleep leeway. Of course, you know, Foolish isn't actually foolish and used the Armor of Solitude to boost his focus back up to mitigate this problem, but that is still a massive nerf to the focus that you really don't want.
Lane is being put through the saw here once again, and it's not looking good. We do see that we actually managed to see the punish there. Goes for the whip. Not quite able to make it. Tries to go for a standing R1, and that's going to be Lane Saw coming out with the next round.
One thing to note is that even though you have this focus nerf, thanks to the Solitude armor, and I don't think I saw a Talisman, but at least the Solitude armor, the Eternal Sleep Grease was simply not able to get a proc despite the amount of hits landed. You saw Poison Swap towards the end.
It was actually curious. I did try out the Trinas the last little while just to see how they are. They're bad, first of all.
I remember seeing that. I mean,
yeah, you just do not get that
atrocious.
sleep proc. You might actually get a better sleep proc off of base Trinas, which is just ridiculous to me. But
sleep is
it's not slept on. It's just bad.
it's kind of meme status right now. Like you have the sleep pods, which are a good tool in invasions and 2v2s. No matter what, like sleep pods are good, but
I think on an arcane build, especially, sleep pots can be a nice way of just getting that bit of counter pressure. But either way, we are going to see the
still sticking to. I'm actually surprised.
He goes for that whip. He's not quite able to do it. Force back in there once again. Goes for a second or one swing. Tries to get that, but the airs come over the top.
Oh my god! They're just not rolling at all. They're just they've abandoned the roll button. And look at that, the complete reset on the status build. They're just going. At this point, I would just go lightning Lightning Grease.
He's spamming, but he manages to get that hit.
Very nice for 2.
Oh, not able to get that break though. Lanesaw is still miles ahead, and 100 hit. Never mind.
Ah,
You know what?
For she's like foolish, really trying to rely on the Rakshasa L1 as like get off me tool, but you see that the damage difference was really showing here.
And keep in mind,
Despite this,
yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But go on.
actually, yeah. So this is to explain what happened. This match and why it played out the way it did. It has to go. We have to go back to things I said earlier in some of the previous rounds. Foolish setup here. He has 2 ways to get people off him. So number 1, the fast kind of like poise breaking Ash of War didn't work. Lane was still in. Rakshasa L1 for high primer, the insanely low recovery of fist, Lane could stay in. And then of course the jump, like desperate jump, and you saw the recovery is so fast, Lane could stay in. So Katars is just able to rush down this setup because the problem with the whip, right, is that it has absolutely no way to set you up for damage if you are close, and except with this new Ash of War, which is undoubtedly why all the whip users are actually using this. But you still see that despite this fact, the fact that it's still ultimately not enough of a burst of damage, all too reactable.
Did you just go for a spinning slash halberd?
The Patat, like you can see this, like the off dagger, like there's nothing, like the Patat is able to stay in no matter what. Like this setup is getting. This is the example here of the complete, just a straight up matchup difference here.
Yeah, and the rush down is just so enabled by just how much ground that thing is actually able to cover, and the backstab.
And of course, like naturally, you equip the halberd. The halberd is able to stun in 1. It's still like a good like main hand offhand. It's a great setup in its own way, but then it has the weakness of the strafes, which Foolish's previous setups didn't have. Like for example, if you're playing Rakshasa Whip, you're not really worried about people strafing you, but Pata became an issue. Now he tries this, strafing becomes an issue. It's just so difficult. I mean, it goes to show that Pata really is a like hard meta addition. There's really no other way to word it. It's one of the best weapons right now.
Again,
it's Qatar without the core flaw of Qatar and with more damage. So yeah, it's pretty good.
I had the pleasure of running a ladder match against Lane there, and I just have to say, like, the amount of pressure that he's able to output on any setup against a bird, because his strafes are on point. There's a number of ladder players who I've played over the last months and years who you press an R1, they're already there. You just cannot lock on. You have to play locked off, and you have to make sure that you guess correctly based on their prior behaviors, whether or not they go for the strafe to the left or the strafe to the right. It throws me for a loop. It very much does. It's on a dime.
If you have the tools to deal with it, you actually don't even need to free aim anything, because
Little fun fact, do you know that Shield Poke actually never free aims his halberd?
What?
Yes, Shield Poke just because, I mean, because Shield Poke mostly plays with the offhand though. He's like a DS3 brained individual. But...
Oh my god, the Blink Bolt comes out, but this is the problem with the Cirque. The Cirque here, it's this setup that Foolish is going for here is really curious. But oh my god,
that might just have sealed the deal right there.
Oh no, into that R2 to try and get that bit of damage. But you see that he's trying to go for that Blink Bolt to try and get another little bit of chip and go for those R2s. But unfortunately, Lane just is right in on top. You know
what's going to happen. What's going to cost him here, I can tell, is the stamina consumption. You can see he's walking, he's out of stamina. I see the swap here. Way too costly the stamina.
Yeah, that Blink Bolt is doing a really, really decent job there, but he's just not able to keep up that damage. The jump attacks come through there. It's not enough. He's trying to get the sillies, the 360.
Wait. There's a hope here. Honestly, the tier breaking, pretty good.
Oh no, but the mash!
But the damage difference, the stamina consumption, I think it's gonna end up costing him regardless.
And it did cost him there. GG's. His foolish ambition laid to rest. Lane saw.
Luber's speech is gradually folding. What does that mean? What's happening to my voice?